welcome.
We made it. Is it a little dark?
Let's see, we can turn it up a little bit. That's
there
a
we
better.
Go.
Kind of bright. I feel like we're a little high up. Maybe we angle this down a little bit. So you take, whoa. You keep track of what's going on there. So we are going live in a second with Destiny.
It's your destiny. I love that.
She is going to be joining us soon.
Yes.
We're super excited.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to be on with you.
Yeah, well, welcome. We're super excited to meet you and, have a little chat. How you doing?
Good. I can't wait for this. I've been going through, first of all, Ashley has told me, the most amazing things ever about you over the past few years. So I'm super excited.
Yay. And we had all these questions prepared. And did you?
I got it.
Ashley left them at the office. We just got here
okay.
But we got it. We had someone text it to us. So we were rushing to get over here.
Oh my gosh, you should have seen us. I'm like, I'll go get the car. We're pull the car around.
I'm shoving everything in my bag. And then I'm like,
but you know what?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's
Luckily,
so funny. That's always how it goes, right?
What's that?
That's always how it goes.
I know. We try so hard to plan, to be prepared, and then boom.
And luckily, my husband called me because, we work together, and he's like, did you leave the car here? And I was like, yeah, I just didn't have time to take it. Ashley drove me over here. And then he's like, oh, and I'm like, oh, I'm setting up for the live, and I'm looking for the ring light. He's like, oh, it's in my closet. So I would have not found it.
Yeah.
Because it was shoved.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
He used it for virtual consults and took it out of my usual spot.
But we made it. Here we are. You're looking beautiful. I love the tree in the background.
Oh, thank you. I decided I'm not taking it down until February because we just need this jolly Christmas spirit going on still.
I'm the same way. I've been bragging on you all week about how you're such a creative. You're so great at what you do. And so for everyone watching, this is Destiny Dickerson, one of the co-founders of the Creative Label, and just a total branding guru is how I describe you. So why don't we just start with you telling us a little bit about Creative Label and what it is that you guys do?
Yeah, so Creative Label is a full service branding, marketing, and PR agency. And essentially what we do is we take care of the evolution of your brand. It could be from the beginning of where you're just starting, right? If you're creating a logo, conceptually, story branding, and then we move all the way through your social media, your email marketing, text message marketing, really getting the word out there about your brand, right? And then we really get the word out. Next step would be public relations, which is really how can you be featured? We call it audience acquisition. So how can you get the greatest amount of eyes in front of your product or your brand? So we focus on that holistically in order to give our clients really, the peak results.
Love it.
Yeah. And I noticed there were three main components because I was on your, the website today, which we should tell people it's www.creativedesigns.com. Is that what it is?
Creative Label, www.itscreativelabel.com.
Creative Label. So then I noticed there were three sections to it. And you even do creating when you talk about the branding, it's more than just colors or photos or the fonts, things like that really ties into one particular brand.
Yep.
I guess it wasn't a question.
So it's just I'm sorry, can you guys hear me okay? I feel like I might be, you're a little choppy. I'm trying to put together let me I'm gonna exit out and then pop back in.
Okay,
perfect.
Okay, so we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait for it.
A little technical difficulty.
So yeah, she's got an amazing website. You guys should check it out. And it's really for anybody that's
doing it too. Do you see that?
What?
See the thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Weird.
There shouldn't be.
Can you guys hear us okay? Thumbs up us.
Thumbs up us?
If you can give us a thumbs up.
Yeah. Let us know if someone can make a comment and let us know if you guys can hear us well or not hear us well.
Can you guys, is that better now? Can you see me and hear me?
That does not look like there's much of a delay.
Okay, good. I think this should be better. Cool.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to test right now and say something really fast and see if you can hear me.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, I can hear you. So I missed the tail end of your last question.
The tail end.
I don't know if there really was a question or just a comment that you like really, if someone has a brand and they're just kind of lost in like the color scheme of their brand or their logo or their font or their whatever, you really start from, you can really do everything for the company.
Yeah. And that's what we found is that branding, I think a lot of people, when you think about branding, you think about the visuals. So you literally just think about what does the logo look like? What does the colors look like? What does the website look like? But it's so much more than just that. And everything really has to come together. So what we have essentially created with our agency is that nothing can work without the other thing is what we realized. We used to just do certain elements of, there used to just be like branding and social media within our agency. And it changed because things have to work together in order to support your brand. So you can't just say, I want to have this really pretty logo and that's it. What is the brand story that you're telling with it? What are the aesthetics? What is your social media aesthetics looking like? Is your content looking really good on your Instagram? All of these things, what is the story behind the brand? All of these things really have to come together in order, to have a really great brand, that people are making purchasing decisions from.
So I have a question though. If a company is just starting out, how do you tell the brand's story?
Yeah. That's really like a sit down, you create it, right? So it's really like a whole sit down branding session where like we spend with our clients up to 3 weeks at a time, just really sitting down and having these master brainstorming sessions talking about, okay, what does this brand represent? What does it mean to you? Who is like the perfect ideal client? And let's picture them. What stores do they shop at? What kind of car do they drive? What kind of vacation do they go on? Because you really start to understand who your target audience and your consumer is. And then, you're understanding that the decisions that they make when they're purchasing your product or purchasing your services, from your brand. So you really can't just be like, I want to start a business and not understand the story branding aspect and who you're targeting behind it.
Right. Because a lot of people make emotional buys and their emotions are tied to whether or not they like you, they like your story, or they love the colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I have an allegiance to something, or if I know a little piece of the story or the background behind it, I feel like I'm a bit more apt to buy that because it's like I feel more connected to it,
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's also targeting with emotions too, right? You really have to understand your consumer's pain. So you need to understand, we call it like the symptom. When you go to the doctor, you've got all of these symptoms, but you don't know what's wrong with you. So how do you target until you see the doctor, right? So how do you target what this person's symptom is? If they're like, I have a cough, I'm sneezing, I'm COVID. Yeah, COVID. Yeah, COVID. It's like, the doctor is saying like, okay, well, you need to do X, Y, and Z. You have to be looking at your business like that, really tending to your consumer symptoms and not necessarily their problem, because a lot of times they don't even realize what their problem is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So when did you guys, now you have a partner, correct?
Yes, I have a partner, Aisha.
Love it. And when did you guys start Creative Label?
So we're about 4 years in. So we started the agency, 4 years ago.
Wow.
Were you working at another agency and then you guys came together? Like, how did you?
So we're college roommates. And we both went to journalism school at Arizona State. And she decided to go to law school. I became a TV producer and started working in TV production and casting. I was at the Dr. Phil show for a while, a bunch of HGTV, Lifetime, really fun stuff. But then I realized that I really want to own something of my own. I want to take all of like my relationships and my partnerships and combined it. She had a really big background and interest in branding. A lot of the things that we've done are self-taught / mixed with relationships and networking on the PR side. And then we were just like, okay, well, let's build an agency out of this. Well, I guess it's a little premature. We decided to actually start building Snapchat filters. That's where we really started. And we were building custom Snapchat filters for people for like $10 $15 as a side hustle before like when they were, popular 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
ago. And then what we realized is that Instagram started creating all of these custom filters. So we're like, everybody is going to continue to adapt to all of these different type of digital media. And how can we, curveball people's brand from doing that? Or how can we keep up with the digital trends? And that's really how our agency was born, because we're like, okay, like let's take this away from Snapchat filters, because we were starting to look at it from a corporate perspective with geo-targeting and advertisement in that way. And we're like, we're thinking too small. Let's look at the brand as a whole, and see how we can help these brands. And that's how the agency really got built.
And it's like it's really more of a digital brand agency versus like in the past was print or whatever.
Yeah.
But I noticed that you also do videos. Like, what exactly within the video realm are you creating? Like a brand video, like for their products, or is it more?
So we create all content. So just as important as like content is a huge, and video is a huge part of branding. So being sure that you have that video content that lives. Most of the video we create is micro content, and that's shareable, right? We're teaching you how to do something. We're teaching you about a product. We're teaching you about a brand, so that it can be repurposed and shared, because video is king and it performs best right now. So that's typically where the video comes from, unless there's like some type of long form video projects, and we work in that space too.
Wow. Because for us as like a brand, for instance, there's like, whether it's Instagram, there's so much, it's pulling you in so many different directions. It's like Instagram. Now it's, what's the one that's over in Asia? They don't want us to TikTok. So that's like TikTok. I know. But like Instagram, TikTok, and then there's YouTube. You have to do YouTube videos, and you have to do like all these little things. Trying to keep up with all of them, it's difficult for a brand.
It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah. It's hard to know where to start. You're like,
even if it's just like the monthly special or a newsletter or this or that. There's just so much. That it's kind of like a full-time. It's a lot.
It's a full-time job. It's a full-time
no, it really is a full-time job. And I think that people are just now getting into the space. I think COVID was a really big indicator about like how important your social media really is. I think a lot of people used to think that social media was like, if I can run my personal account, I can run my business account. And they're two completely separate things. So when people would come to us and they'd be like, wow, it's actually your job to run people's social media accounts and to create content. And all of a sudden we're like, yeah, this is a full-time job. This is 40 hours plus per week per client that we work with, really trying to push out and create these content, from emails to text message marketing to podcast creation to video. Like, it's a lot that keeps your marketing going.
Right. Now, how many total people do you have working under you doing that?
We've got a team of 15 right now, including interns. But there's 7 of us that are full-time.
Wow.
So yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. And did you increase that with COVID?
Yes. So we're very blessed. I feel so blessed that we weren't impacted negatively by COVID, but we've been given the opportunity to help and provide jobs and opportunity for people during COVID. That's the plus that's come out of that, is that people really found the importance of investing into their digital marketing during COVID, because everyone is shut down. So you really have to dive in and turn into the digital space. So we hired a bunch more. We increased the amount of interns we have, and business has just been super crazy for anyone who's working in this digital space. So feel blessed.
Yeah. I was going to ask, that was one of our questions, is like, how have you seen the pandemic kind of shift, whether it's been your business, but really like, because it seems like you work with a lot of businesses, small businesses that, are kind of like, just starting to grow and things like that. How have you seen the pandemic impact business?
I think at first everyone was like, what is this, right? What is this? How long is it going to last? And is this going to affect my income indefinitely? And some people are still there. And our biggest thing was looking and diving in from a marketing perspective. We had already predicted a lot of digital trends that were going to be happening for the year. So for the most part, the things that we saw happening digitally were the same. They were just being increased, right? But we were fighting against some other things like BLM. We could have never expected that. We're fighting against COVID just in general. We couldn't have expected that. The anticipation in the sense of not knowing, you know, what's going to happen, when it's going to end, and also the election, right? So the biggest thing that our clients had to do is really dive into community. And it's forget about the sales right this moment and focus about the community and what people need during this time. So that maybe looks different for everybody. For our fitness clients who have fitness lines, it's okay, how can I support my community from a health aspect at this time? Because people are sitting at home, and I don't care if they're not purchasing my products, because if I invest in the community, if I invest in their health now, if I invest in their mental health and their physical health, they're going to think about me when they have those purchasing dollars after COVID. They're going to be, I'm going to be the first one they think about, because I've already invested into them, you know, mentally. I've already invested into them where they're like, oh, I don't even have to think twice about purchasing products from them.
I really like that.
Yeah.
I think that's important. I think right now that's kind of true for everyone, you know what I mean? And as far as like community and, you know, creating a safe space and everything like that, that's super awesome. Do you have a favorite aspect of the business?
Oh, my favorite aspect is on the PR side. I love relationship building. I love seeing brands get to partner with different influencers or different you know, publications. Like, it just makes my heart just jump when I see a brand that's really worthy of being featured, you know, on a Forbes or like an Elle or Vogue or whatever that might be. I'm like, okay, like this brand totally deserves to be seen. And I'm happy that so many eyes are able to be, you know, on this brand. So I'm on like the strategic partnership side. That's like my all-time favorite thing.
So let's talk about that. You were named one of the 30 under 30 by Forbes.
Yes.
So how did that come about? Did they seek you out? Was it like how, tell us all about that.
Yeah. So
congratulations.
Thank you. My business partner and I, it was one of our goals from the inception of our business, but we never like went after it. We didn't know what you needed to like be in Forbes 30 under 30. We didn't know if there was an application process, and we had never, it was a goal that we were not actionable about it. And earlier this year, we joined what I call a mastermind, which is like a group of people who are learning a lot of business and entrepreneurship, mental skills, because unfortunately nobody teaches us how to be entrepreneurs, right? For the most part, unless you go to business school. And so we invested in this group and joined this group, and they were like, what are your goals for, you know, the rest of the year through the end of 2020? We're like, well, we want to be in Forbes 30 under 30, and we want to speak at Create and Cultivate. And so the people in the group were like, girls, that's like such small goals. Like you're bigger than that, and you need to figure out what it takes to be in these environments and to, you know, get these accomplishments. And so that next weekend, we hopped on a call together, and we're like, okay, these are the things that it takes that Forbes says. These are all the things, you know, these are the relationships we already have at Create and Cultivate. And we ended up speaking at Create and Cultivate that next week or next month. And then we had our whole team do a like Forbes initiative process. So we're marketers and PR people, so we strategized our way to the Forbes application. Like, I'm not going to say like, oh, they just chose us from the sky, because they didn't. We had a whole application process that we went through, and then we also had our team share and some of our friends share, and then it got noticed by their team. Wow. And I don't know what happened from there, but
yeah.
That's so
Now,
cool.
were both you guys named or just you?
Both of us are named.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Yeah. Wow.
Thank you so much.
So
I'm
cool.
still on cloud 9.
That's something that you'll always be, you know, bragging rights for
yes.
sure.
Thank you.
What is a recommendation that you would have for someone who is like looking to build a brand, looking to start a business? Maybe they don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Starting from completely fresh. If you could give one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh, there's so much advice. My thing would be is to just go after it. Just start. Because if you don't start, you're always going to be questioning and wondering and holding things back. But I think my biggest thing is try to start the most professional way that you possibly can. So get all your branding and your marketing objectives into, or into line. So make sure you've got that logo, make sure you've got your website, make sure your social looks really great and your content looks great. Make sure you're being authentic to yourself and authentic to the brand. But even before you get there, make sure you have an LLC and a business checking and savings account. It's so important. I remember when Aisha and I first started business, we had our first client and they were like, oh, okay, walking up to the bank with our check, and we'd been working and not been getting paid for, months. And we're like, okay, finally we got our first client. Go to the bank and I'm like, hey, can you make this check out to Creative Label? So they go into their system and they're like, ma'am, you don't have a business checking account for Creative Label. I can't cash this check. And so I'm like, oh, shoot. So we were forced to go through that whole LLC, like really making your business official process in order to get our money, which is the most beautiful blessing that we could have had, because it forced us to really take our business seriously and invest in the areas that we, wanted to. And because at that time it was like, okay, we're making this investment and we're doing this all on our own and nobody else is like helping us with this. We don't have investors. Like we're relying just on ourselves, on our own. And so having to do that made us, I think, work so much harder.
Right. For sure. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, actually, yeah, not yet. Oh. Actually, I did have one more question for you.
Okay.
What do you feel like right now, 2021, what do you feel like is the most important platform for people to market on?
Yeah. If you had to pick one social media platform, people were like, look, I need to just focus on one. Would you say to focus on one and build that up, or spread it all out and do because then you're just kind of not really doing anything that well?
It's a loaded question. So, okay. So I would focus on one, and one I would focus on would be Instagram right now, but I think there's a lot that are rising, including TikTok and Clubhouse. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Clubhouse, but it's an audio only platform. So you are able to talk about whatever you're an expert at on Clubhouse. And I think it's going to end up being a really, really, really big social media platform. Audio is going to be really huge this year. You can tell by the investments that have been made by Spotify, by Apple, by all of these different, like podcasting companies, that audio is going to be king as much as video is.
Wow. So
yeah, Ashley, you said that you were like a mini expert at audio and podcasts. I'm like, well, what do you mean that she does it herself? And she's like, no, she does these podcasts. And I was like, oh, I wonder if she's ever listened to Meghan and Harry's podcast.
I haven't listened to it yet. I've been talking about it. I talked about it on my podcast last week, on our podcast. But you did. What were your thoughts?
She knows so much about the royals. It's
amazing. We drove up to Northern California. We were in the car for many hours. But anyway, their first podcast was a compilation of a bunch of different people, a bunch of famous people, whether they were chefs or they were tennis player or they were professional. I mean, they're all professional people.
Right.
And each one gave a little blurb about themselves and kind of how they're feeling. And it was really more of on the mental health vibe.
Okay.
And it was good. I mean, they both have very nice voices.
Would you listen again? Would you listen to a full season?
I probably would, because that one wasn't really one. It was just kind of sort of like a mishmash of an introduction. So I would be curious to listen to the next one and see what that was all about. But if it was I know he's going to have something with Oprah coming out. And,
wow.
I think it all depends on really what the theme is. If it's always mental illness, which I think it might be, it might be a little heavy to hear it each time. I mean, it would be nice to have something a little more uplifting. So I'm not sure, but I would listen to the next one and see what I thought.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, audio is it's going to be taking over. It's how people are consuming. People want to consume audio really quickly too, right? That's why we've seen an increase in books, in ebooks. And people, they just want to hear things while they're doing other things. Right. So I think that's one thing to keep in mind. You asked a question, Ashley, that was talking about there's so many different places to put content, and it's what do I focus on first? So for me, there's a way to create one piece of content and create 7 other pieces of content out of it. And that's what I recommend that people do when they're looking to create a large amount of content and they don't want to be overwhelmed. Right. So if we use this, for example, we would have this live recording. This would serve as one piece of content as a live, right? You're interacting, people giving them, Q&A opportunity, whatever, you might be doing. It's live. You save it. And if you have a podcast or somewhere where audio lives, you have that transcribed. So you have the audio of the IGTV or the live or whatever that might be, even IGTV, let's just say you don't do it live, have that transcribed. And then that gives you a whole bunch of copy content to use for those purposes. So you can use the video, you can use the copy, it could be repurposed. And then if you have a podcast, you're repurposing this live into audio. So that's literally like all like clockwork type.
Wow, you are genius, man.
So when
you're hired.
This is our podcast.
Send me the contract.
So it's crazy because whenever we go live, we're always like, let's just make it into a bonus episode on our podcast. And then we'll make it into a blog on our website, which is going to pop up on SEO because the podcast doesn't have SEO, right? I want people to be able to Google the things that I'm talking about. In audio, you can't Google yet. So I want the transcription. I want to create a blog post out of it. And I've already got the transcription that I transcribed. So there's just so many ways. And then that continues to trickle down into smaller bite-sized videos, shareable content that you can make from your caption copy into tweets or into, small bite-sized quotes that you might put into Instagram. Yeah.
I feel like the lives, though, there is a lot of flaws with the IG lives. I feel like it could be so much better. I do not like how the comments come up over your face.
During the live
on that.
But during the recording, it's all gone.
Yes. Yeah, IG Live is not like you would think that they would have it all together at this point, especially with the maximum capacity of lives that are happening during COVID. I feel like 3 months ago it was like live. That's all I would see on my top bar.
So true.
But
that's when we started. Right. We started going live in April.
Right. Doing procedures at home and
that's so cool. That is so cool. And people actually want to see that kind of stuff. This has just opened up the door. It's just such an unfortunate circumstance, COVID, but it's also opened up the door for you to get really creative with what you can do. And honestly, what you can do for less money sometimes for your marketing.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like people are like tired of, there was 2 comments I was going to make. One is that I feel like, there are a lot of people that were in business and they didn't want to necessarily enter the digital platform and they were forced to, or they were going to be crushed.
Yes.
And, I know like in the past, there was even like not paying attention to your reviews, not paying attention to like what you're putting out there, like all this stuff. And all of a sudden you're like, you can't get someone to come through the door because you're not protecting your own reputation.
Yeah.
So that was like one whole thing. And I can't remember what I was going to say for the second.
No, that is just like, that is such a good point. Like people had to rely on their social media and their digital marketing and their digital strategy in order to like see success in their business. And this isn't just COVID. I spoke about BLM before. What we dealt with lots of crisis management situations because of how people were showing up or not showing up digitally during BLM. And it started to affect their business. So you have to show up no matter what circumstances on your social media in order to keep that marketing operating.
Also, I think, when you said the audio is going to be huge, I think because of COVID and we were all just like staring into our computers or all we had was like the phone or this or that, I think it also gave us all kind of a negative taste in our mouth to some degree that we're just like, you know what? Let's go back to the basics. Like when you could just put your phone down and go enjoy yourself. And and maybe that's also like why the audio is going to be really big is that people really want to get back into like doing other things at the same time, and not, I know people who started doing instruments a lot more, people who started getting more into cooking, people who started getting into like more activity-based things because they were tired of just like zoning out and watching something.
Right.
Yeah, it's so true.
Not the teens.
No, not the teens. But I think people just want to feel something that's personal, like personable.
Right.
And I think audio, you know, in some senses, especially on some of the platforms where you can interact on audio, it feels like you're in person with somebody.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Right. So you received some of our YovinoMD
Yes.
skincare products. We sent you our growth factor.
Okay.
And we also sent you filler in a bottle.
Which are my two favorites.
Yes. So I'm so excited for you to try them.
I cannot wait to try them. I need to know, can you give me all the details on how they work, like the steps that I need to take in order to try them?
Yep, just the two.
So filler in a bottle is a concentrated hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is what keeps your skin hydrated. Okay. So you're going to want to kind of dampen your hands and take off like the excess, and then squirt a little bit on, and then rub it all over your neck and face. That one is going to pull hydration back into your skin, and you're going to feel like dewy with that.
Okay.
It's so amazing. It will replace your moisturizer. Okay.
Okay.
You won't really need a moisturizer with it. I used to wear a heavy moisturizing cream with it, and I stopped it, and you don't need it.
Right.
Okay. Okay. I'm so excited.
The second thing is growth factor. And for you, it's especially important because I don't know if you know how damaging blue light is, and blue lights are on, you know, the computers and your cell phone, and blue light is just as damaging as the sun. And so, you know, people don't really think to put on sunblock or want to wear sunblock, you know, when you're just indoors on your computer, but it is just as damaging. So the growth factor goes in and repairs that DNA and all the damage that has occurred, environmental damage and things like that. And it also stimulates your body to produce new collagen and new elastin.
So cool.
So it's a reparative one. So, I mean, that to me has transformed my skin. Single-handedly. The filler in a bottle will make you feel like you have a silk velvety texture.
It's so
amazing. It's so nice. And you'll feel hydrated. And then the growth factor will make you'll see the difference in your skin. You'll be like, my skin looks so great.
Oh, I seriously cannot wait. I'm so excited. Ashley told me you have to try these products. You're gonna love them. I have I'm so bad with my packages, so I've had packages like sitting at my front door for like 2 weeks now, and that was one of them in there, and I opened it today. I was like, I cannot wait to try this. So I'm super excited. I'm gonna try it tonight.
And we know you're under 30, so you're going to be looking under 30 for a long time with skincare. This is
like the first year where I feel like, I can see it in my skin. I'm getting a little bit older, so I can't wait.
It's so important to just get a jump start on it, because then you're not playing catch up.
Yeah, rejuvenation. So instead of rejuvenating the damage that's already happened, you're prejuvenating, you're preventing the damage from occurring.
I love that. I love that so much. I can't wait to try it.
And so medical grade products are in just higher concentrations than anything you can buy in the store. And plus there's specialized carrier molecules that will take those ingredients and drive them deep into your skin.
Okay. So medical grade is the way to go. If you're going to invest in skincare and stuff like that, we always just tell patients medical grade is the way to go, because you're not, even if it's the most expensive over the counter La Mer or whatever, it's not the same as medical grade.
Right.
Okay.
So fragrance free, sulfate, parabens, and formaldehyde free, fragrance free, gluten free, and dermatologically tested. And clinically proven to give you results.
Yep.
Yes. I need those. I'm excited. Yes. I will definitely be posting and be sending you pictures.
Let us know what you want.
I'm excited. I can't wait. Thank you so much. I'm super excited.
Of course. So what is your approach to beauty and things like that? What's your philosophy on it?
Tell us your routine. You wake up and do what?
You know what? I'm trying to get a lot better at this. I wake up and my routine is typically just, wash my face, brush my teeth. And I don't know if this is good or bad. I think this is a good conversation to have with you, Dr. Sarah, but I've been using Proactive on my face since I was like 13, and it works. Like, it's just always worked, but I don't know if it's like harsh on my skin. I have never really moved away from too many different things. I don't know if you have any opinions about skincare products, and I don't know if that's considered medical grade.
Well, you know, Proactive is made by 2 dermatologists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'd have to look to see there. It probably is. That's what I would assume that, because it is made by 2 dermatologists. But I don't know what quantity the ingredients are in.
Yeah.
But if it's working, you know, they say if it's not working.
Again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Sometimes I do get a little bit concerned about like what is in the product. So that's why, you know, I like to hear you say like all
I
of
don't
the
think
different.
anything's harsh in their products. This is like, you can trust what they are putting out there. That I'm sure it's good quality stuff.
Yeah. So I use that, and I don't know, like during COVID, I've just really tried to, if I do like a live, like I'll put on makeup, or you know, I'll put on makeup a few times a week, maybe 3 times, but otherwise I'm like a little mascara in my sweatpants and just going a little moisturizer on my face. And that's really it. I don't have this huge like beauty skincare type of routine, but I am, like I was saying before, I do feel like I can see like my skin getting, my face getting older. You start to see like different things on your face. I feel like the older I get, and I'm like, okay, I need to really start caring differently for my skin.
Are you using Proactive's facial cleanser or using bar soap on your face?
So I use their facial cleanser, and to be honest, I don't use it every day. I probably use it every 3 days, and mostly when I'm breaking out on my face.
Just make sure you're not using the same soap you're using on your body, the bar soap or whatever, on your face.
Okay.
Because it will strip your oils too much.
Yes.
And that could be a reason you're breaking out.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know.
It'll be good though, because you can just incorporate our products with what you're using right now, you know?
I love that.
You'll see a difference for sure. And then it'll kind of give you a good measuring stick as to, okay, well, if these products are working more, maybe I could shift my skincare a little bit and have a, you know, a different type of a cleanser or something to give you, you know, different, right?
I mean, maybe she can forget about Proactive altogether.
Yeah. So yes, maybe I can forget about it altogether and have a whole new skincare routine.
I'm good for like, you know, people that are like, you know, teens and, you know, early 20s. But, you know,
right. And I'm like, I need like real adult like skincare stuff. Yes, I probably do.
We're getting there. We have a lot of guests that, you know, their introduction to skincare is through YovinoMD, just because we like our guests, you know, to try our products and things like that, and to share it and to share their experience and things. But it's funny because some of them come to us and they're like, I use a bar of Dove soap, which is why she asks now. Because
we're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny, because I'm sure there's a lot of women who have that same experience where you know,
I was never like that. I always have been into
skincare.
She had like a 27-step process. I'm like, who does that? Maybe it's something that you can at least get. She's like, oh, and I do this, and I use this product, and I use this product, and I use this product. And they're all different brands, and they're all whatever. And I was like, you're not doing any of it. And then she was breaking out. I'm like, what are you using on your face?
And I was like, where do I begin?
I knew she was still using the product, and I'm like, why are you breaking out? And then I'm like, what else are you using? And then all of a sudden comes this list of these. Well, but I've been using it for 3 years. I'm like, I don't care. Forget about it. And the minute she stops, her skin clears up. I'm like, okay.
Why are we like that? I feel like as women, we're so attached to products that we've been using for X amount of time. Or like we don't. I was using. I bought some KKW, a contour stick, and I kept trying to figure out, why is my face just breaking out, but it looked so good. Like the contour looked so good. So I kept using it. And I was like, okay, finally I have to stop. Like so I'd go through the whole like cleansing session. Yeah, I know, it sucks. Can't use that, but we're attached to certain products.
I've never tried her products.
No, but I like the colors, because
the colors are pretty.
Yeah, I'm very olive, and so I was thinking, you know, that would be really good. I like the color palette.
Maybe. I mean, I kind of tried to read the reviews to see if other people have the same problem. It didn't seem like it, so.
And you wash your like sponge and your brushes and your.
That I need to be better at.
Okay,
that I need to be way better.
Yeah.
I mean, that could really be the reason why you're breaking out, is because those are just like just a collection of bacteria, and you're just wiping it all over your face.
Yeah, I gotta be better about that.
Right. I would make sure that you just get a bunch, and then you're using them once or a few. I mean, I know someone who washes them after every single application, but
wow,
you know, I think that's a lot.
Big commitment.
That's a commitment.
Yeah, but if you're breaking out, the first thing to do is wash anything that has been reused.
Okay.
Especially your mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wear a new one every day.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, because I just break out like wherever I put it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited.
Yes. So before we get to our rapid fire questions, obviously a new year and things like that. Have you set some goals, intentions, resolutions, anything you want to share with us?
So I don't do resolutions because I think that they're ridiculously hard to commit to and unrealistic. Shout out and bravo to the people who can commit to the resolutions for the year. I'm jealous because I can't do that. But I choose a word every year that I'm super intentional about. So last year was my year of super grinding and just working so hard. And I'm still going to work really hard this year, but I'm going to be a lot more cautious of time. So time is my word. And it is going to be really focusing on that in my relationships with my friends, my relationship with work. Like, how can I get ahead and not feel like I'm working like hours and hours and hours as an entrepreneur? So time management, relationships with my family, all of that fun stuff. So, in relationships with God too. And so really focusing on the time aspect of that and what that looks like. So I've been super intentional about mapping that out and how can I do this for the whole year. So yeah, I did it last year and I think I got like an 8 to 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, my word was boundaries and really creating healthy boundaries. So it was hard and people don't understand boundaries. But by the end of the year, I was like, I feel really good about my word, so I'm going to do this again. What about you guys? Did you guys have?
I love that.
Thank you.
Well, we did like an inspirational board of
cool.
where we want to go and where we want to be, you know, this next year.
All of US.
Cool. Everywhere.
We have the non-surgical side of the practice, the surgical side of the practice, the, YovinoMD skincare, or there's so many little things, and each one's kind of, we did sort of like our goals and intentions of 2021. Mm-hmm. So we've done that. I mean, I haven't sat down with Ashley to do it, but I have with the rest of the staff. So we have to, gear up with that too. But
can you share like the biggest goal? Can you share any of the goals?
Like for instance, our surgical side of the practice, we've added another surgeon.
Ooh, cool.
And that's awesome. A big one because it's always been just, my husband, Justin Yovino. And so we're adding a new doctor, Dr. Hakimi. And so we're super excited about that. He's been out in practice before and he was going to join us in the past, but timing wasn't really right and timing's perfect now. So,
awesome.
So that's exciting. We in 2018, was it? I had spent a year building out a new office that was state-of-the-art office, and unfortunately there was problems with the building, and we had to sort of recover all that, and that just happened, and we're finally done with it, and that chapter is closed. So now we will be on the lookout for new space, and hopefully, I don't know if it will be done and designed and ready to move into this year, but that is part of it as well, is to take our practice into that. With the skincare line, we have, we're going through the LLC and we're really like trademarking the name. So that's kind of where we've sort of been. And so that's right now in the works. The non-surgical side, I think we're really looking to partner with a lot of people and sort of take a different approach to that, not just be the cookie cutter, come for the Botox,
Right.
We're looking to do more of giving back this year.
Oh, cool.
With that, and looking for people that, from like, whether it's mental health or whether it's like whatever, just kind of doing that. What's last is that's kind of it. And the pain, I have like a whole pain side too, but that's kind of boring. So
Yeah. So it feels good for us right now. Feels good. You know, we're very, like you said too in the beginning, we're very fortunate.
Yeah.
You know, to be in the situation that we're in, bringing in another surgeon and everything like that. So
yes.
Well,
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear about all of the goals in 2021 and like to follow up with you guys and see, you know, how it's going. I always want to be everyone's accountability partner. So if you ever need anything, or if you're like, hey, I'm stuck here, or how can I like, I like to ask like people, how can I serve you like best? Like, how can I help you out? So please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm really good with reaching out too. So I'll check in on you both to see how
you will get a phone call from us.
I love it.
Okay, ready for some rapid fire?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. All right, first up. You want to
go? Beaches or mountains?
Ooh, mountains.
Salty or sweet?
Sweet.
Live.
Red or nude lip?
Nude.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee, 100%. I live by coffee.
Red or white wine?
White wine.
Sneakers or heels?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Ooh, that's definitely a tie for me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's a tie.
What's your favorite food dish?
Sushi.
Favorite place to travel?
Ooh, that's a good one. Jamaica, I think, is probably the favorite place I've been.
Where?
Jamaica.
Oh,
love Jamaica.
I've never been.
I've been in a grill and Ocho Rios. Yeah,
I've never been.
I love it. It's so beautiful there.
I went in high school. Like that was our high school trip. I went.
Oh my gosh.
No, it was college. No, college. It was college.
Still nice.
It was college with the girls.
Yeah.
College with the girls.
Love
it.
Oh yeah. Favorite TV show at the moment?
The Bachelor.
I love The Bachelor.
I love The Bachelor. Like that's my favorite all-time show ever.
It's starting now, right?
Yeah, it started this week on Monday.
Oh my god, I missed it.
You gotta catch up. Good content for you to watch tonight.
You know what?
You can say.
She was gonna be on the show. She got pretty far in the whole interview process.
In this last round?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Shut up.
Yeah.
Ashley's like, I gotta get on that show.
Shut up.
Chocolate man, you know what I saw?
Oh my god, that is crazy. Okay, yeah, we gotta talk more about that.
Yeah. They reached out to me. I was like, what?
Her friend was like, you gotta get a hold of this person.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. That's so fun.
So maybe I should watch too. I've never seen.
You've never seen it?
My guilty pleasure.
It's my guilty pleasure too. Like
I love
my
it's
whole
like so
team.
Stupid.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing every time. But
Every single time. Oh,
that's how I feel about the Housewives.
And they're always like, this
Housewives
is
too. I love Housewives.
Exciting Bachelor season that you have ever seen.
Wow.
Every season.
Okay, Chris Harrison, you say that every time.
Every time. Ashley, which Housewives do you watch? Or what's your favorite one?
Beverly Hills is my favorite.
Okay,
I'm a little partial, obviously, but I love Beverly Hills. I will say, this year they just came out with the Salt Lake City.
It's good. Salt Lake City is
good. These women are crazy.
It's good. They've got crazy storylines. It's good. Potomac was just wrapped up really, really good. I don't know if you watched that one, but
I like them all.
They're so good.
Yeah,
Atlanta's good.
I love it. Yeah,
They're all good.
I love them all. Your favorite quarantine activity?
Oh, hiking.
Love.
And the last one, what is, if you could have one superpower, what would you wish to have?
Oh my gosh. I think it would be the ability to be invisible.
Ooh,
I always want to I'm a nosy person, first of all. So I want to know what's happening behind closed doors. I think it's the producer in me. I want to know everything.
Right.
I want to know what's happening behind closed doors. And I also want to know, I think people's character when people aren't watching. So I think I would want to be invisible. What about you guys? That's
sometimes ignorant can be bliss.
That is true.
The more you see, you could be hurt and upset.
That's so true.
Why would they do that? And then it's
oh, that's really true.
Yeah.
That might be a little bittersweet.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what mine would be. I didn't think about it. What would be yours?
You know, I think the invisible one would be really good too. Or,
I wish I could like what I've always. This is one that I've actually thought about a lot. Remember, like I dream a genie. I wish I could just like this,
Yeah,
and I would be wherever I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Like I could
That's a
do
good
that,
one.
and I'd be
That's a good one.
in a hut, like
Right.
swimming in the beautiful blue ocean,
Mhm.
riding the stingrays. You
Yeah.
know,
I love that. That's such a good one.
I wish I could do that and then be somewhere and not have to like drive or
Well, that's the
Oh,
thing.
that,
yeah.
and then like be, you know,
Yeah.
ready for bed, not have to like actually
Yes,
like
not
do
to
it.
actually do
When I
it.
was a kid, I used to think about that all the time. Like, oh, airplane. And my dad is one of those people that would want to go like 3 hours before the flight was going to take off. I'm like,
Oh my
"Dad,
God.
Dad move.
we don't need to sit there for a full
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah.
You're like,
what-
why?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was always nauseated because it was so early in the morning,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
Oh
if
my
I could
God.
just wiggle my nose or
Yeah.
snap my finger or blink my eyes, and I would.
I love that one. That's good.
Yeah. That is a great one.
Yeah. So
Well, Des, this has been so
Yeah.
much fun. We've loved having you on, and we'll have to do it again for
Yes,
sure.
we'll have to have you on our podcast. I think it would be so fun to have you guys on. So we'll get something on the books if you guys would want to.
Would love it.
yeah.
Fun. We'll get something on the books, and I just thank you for doing this. This is a
Yeah.
blast.
And thanks for being our guest.
Yeah.
Of course.
Can't wait to hear what you think about the product.
I feel like I learned a lot.
I can't
I
wait.
did too.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Okay, good.
educational ones.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm like, I always hope that people walk away like with something. So
Yeah.
A
I
lot. You gave us a lot of good
Just one pearl, even if it's one pearl, it's worth it. That's the way I always think of something.
yes,
You know?
100%, 100%.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, and you guys have a great night. I'm gonna try out all my skincare tonight.
Yay.
I can't wait.
Love it.
All right.
All right.
We'll
thank
talk
Bye,
to you
guys.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everyone.